Welcome to Learner to Learners Soundcheck, where we gather together all who wanted to learn and willing to learn, or willing to share the knowledge that they have learned previously to everybody else who want to learn about all things audio. This is a space for you. This is also the first time that I played that song. It's a brand new theme song for Soundcheck, and when I say learner to learner and I embrace that learning, I admit it, and because that is the first time I'm playing that. That is a piece that I composed myself, everything from scratch, because I was using copyrighted music previously, even though it's, I can use it, but I didn't want to. I'm going to start from the beginning, learning how to do that. It might be rudimentary, but it is my own. I feel so proud about it. So first time you're premiering it here, and I'm kind of glad that actually Sean is not here. At least I'm not so stressed out. For somebody who does that professionally. Anyway, welcome to Soundcheck, Glenn and Charles. Oh my God, you are muted still, Charles.
There we go.
Okay, so warning. Oh, your cat is here. I gotta get him full screen. Hang on. Oh my goodness.
He's like, what are you doing?
Why
aren't you paying me more attention?
Oh, so cute. What's her name again?
Sammy O'Malley.
Sammy O'Malley. So cute, that face. All distracted by a cat. Hello, Sammy. You're so cute. Oh, look at that face. You want to talk? Oh, I can hear the purr. Oh. I hear you. Oh, you got to change your name to Sammy O'Malley.
To Sammy O'Malley.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, that is the new theme song. And it took me a while to create it, but it's kind of a fun process. So, Charles, I don't know if you do producing music or anything at all.
I did years ago. Back when, was it Fruity Loops first came out?
Fruity Loops?
Yeah, I think it's Fruity Loops.
Wait, how come we
Yeah,
don't
this
hear
is-
you? Glenn,
Check 1, 2.
I hear you, Charles. I don't hear Glenn. Glenn's mic is not muted. Check to see if you're muted on your RØDECaster.
I know. Well, I didn't want to make any noise while you were playing your song.
Thank you for doing that. But then you forgot to unmute.
Yeah. No. I remember Fruity Loops. Yeah, that was a MIDI program that
Oh,
people
wow,
used
it's a while ago.
These MIDI sounds to create music.
This is before GarageBand then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was out a long time ago.
Okay.
It came out in 1998.
Oh my gosh. I just graduated college, 1990.
Yeah, FL Studio, but everybody called it Fruity Loops.
And they spelled it Frooty.
By the way, Glenn,
What?
now that you are on original sound, or what's it called? Original sound for musicians, your audio is a little lower now. Because when you have Zoom process your audio, it can take it will take the gain that the auto gain that they use to make your voice louder. So you kind of do one or two things. You don't have to use original sound if you don't want to. If you want to, we can solve that from your RØDECaster. So if you tell us when you speak into the RØDECaster, when you speak to us, and I don't know how close your microphone is.
I think we addressed this a little bit last week. I needed to do my bar a little bit higher. So
Yeah. So if you
now is that better?
that's better, but a probably better thing is to bring your microphone closer.
Okay, I'm trying to.
You have it out of the shot. You're trying to have it out of the shot.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do. I used to keep it below my cam, but I had to move my computer, rearrange my desk, and now I can't do that anymore. I have to put it above. So that's the reason for that.
It's better. Yeah, it's better this way. And if you can see that, obviously we're in soundcheck, so we're nitpicking on sound, and it's also more comfortable for people to hear it when all the speakers are about the same level. Now, another thing you could do, I gave you the option of doing it on your RØDECaster, but another option is you can actually, and if you want to try, you can always turn it back on, is you can go back to your settings for your Zoom. So go audio, Zoom, audio, click on audio settings, and then actually turn on Zoom background noise removal, but then instead of using original sound, but then choose the lower option of the two.
Yeah,
so
I remember you
use
mentioned
low.
that. I think it's easier. Well, I tell you what, this is just us guys. I'm just going to do this. Okay?
No, at least
All
you
right,
have the option.
Does this solve our problem?
See, now you have, of course, this probably sounds like absolute garbage. I'm sure you're getting a bunch of room noise.
Some,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're sounding
sound a little
crystal
hollow.
clear, Charles.
You don't sound like the normal Charles, but
I don't sound like this.
you don't sound like that, and which is probably a good thing to talk about. Other than the this thing that I'm seeing, the jet. So we can talk about mic position.
Love you, John.
So I'll talk a little bit about the process, which was actually kind of a fun learning for me, but we'll come back and talk about that later. So the microphone position. So some people like to have the microphone out of the shot, which it's understandable, but you got to make sure that you have the right mic to do that. And not all mics.
This is dynamic. It's so.
And so you can hear the level. This has got even. Can you even bring it even closer, or is that out of reach already? Your microphone, or you had to lean in.
Well, I just went ahead and brought it down to me.
Okay, there.
This is like right next to my lips.
Okay, What? How does it sound? Wise for you, Charles?
It definitely sounds
Better.
better,
but
closer.
could be louder
Yeah.
too, right? Could it be?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what your gain is.
Well, go ahead and say a sentence or two, Glenn.
Okay. Let me count. Do some counting for you. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
I'm at
6.
about 20 dB.
What about mine? When I speak,
20,
is it about the same?
25.
When I speak, is it hit about the same? 20, 25?
You're a little bit higher.
About 20?
You're,
20, 18?
you're about 15.
15.
You're about 18. Yeah, 18 to 15.
15, 18. Okay, all right. So, you're close. But if you want to tweak it, you have that range. Just a hair more. And I heard you push up your fader earlier, Glenn.
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you still at Unity or you're above now?
I'm at max right now.
You're at max. Okay, so let's look at your gain. You might be very you might not be pushing your gain as high as you potentially could.
Okay, I don't think I've messed with my game because in the setup, because it's an MV7, and I thought that I just used SM7B settings for it. But maybe it
You
does
can
need,
use the same setting, but let's take
extra.
a look at it. Let's take a look at it and see what your level is set at, and maybe should I show where people?
It's funny, typically you talk about people being gain heavy, and Glenn is the opposite.
Yeah,
He's not
I'm
gain
gain
hungry
low.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, my
it's gain starved. No,
wait,
it's gain full.
Actually, I'm going to take that back. I used the settings for dynamic. I
Okay.
didn't use the exact
Which is okay.
settings for the SM7B.
Which is okay. But tell us what your gain level is, which in our language, in the RØDECaster world, it is actually called level.
It's 58 dB right
58.
now.
Okay. I have my SM7B set at 60, so you could try that. And you see how the signal right now on my end, when I speak, you see how it goes toward the plus sign. It doesn't hit
Yeah.
the red, but it's fairly high. A lot of people, I myself included, were afraid of pushing it up that high.
Okay, I just went up to 60.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit and let us register. and see.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
62?
15, 16.
Well, now you're lower than what you were.
He was looking over at his RØDECaster, not at the microphone. Earlier.
Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7.
better. You're about this. I think you could probably
Close to me now, but you have to speak into the you have
No.
to use it like the
I'm gonna have it for dessert here if I get any closer.
yeah. You want to have it for dessert.
Let
I'm sorry,
me.
Charles, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So when you're speaking, when you see the meter on the level, you see the green bar that looks like a bridge.
Yeah.
Seen the green bar?
Yeah.
When you speak, where is your meter hitting in reference to that bar? Is it getting all the way to the end of the bar, like right where the red is, or is it somewhere in the middle?
Okay, the one on the channel with the fader gets into a yellow area, but it doesn't go all the way to the top. The two bars on
I just
that
want
go
you to look at
across-
the line level. So where you adjusted it from 58 to 60, there'll be a meter running left to right underneath
here.
that.
Okay,
This, right?
let me get back to that now. I will tell you.
And then I just
okay.
want you to speak normally. I don't want you to be overly cautious.
Okay.
Conscious of where you're speaking. Just speak normally.
Okay.
Because we don't want to set it to where you have to think about
Gotcha,
where you're
gotcha.
putting
Speaking louder.
yourself
Yeah.
in relation
Gotcha.
to the mic.
Okay.
I want you to just speak comfortably because I think you're probably going to end up at like 65.
Okay. All right. When I speak like this, it goes just past the letter B and DB, and I've got it set on 60 now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
65 then.
Definitely 65.
All right, I'm gonna go to 65 straight away, and we'll
Yeah.
just see.
So just so you know, this is not his screen. I'm just showing you my screen so that we know what he's talking about. He's talking
see
about
the
hitting
relation.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
I go all the way to the
I've
plus.
blown it up now, and now I'm going yellow, and the yellow is going all the way to the plus sign.
That's good. That's how I have mine. See,
How am I sounding now?
you sound much better.
You sound better.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I wonder is you put on a preset of dynamic.
Yes, yes.
If there any
So
compression on there.
do me one other favor. Just turn off processing. Just turn it off so we can eliminate that real
I
quick.
thought I had, but okay, it's off. It's off.
There. Okay.
There we go.
So
Okay, that's what I
you're
thought.
much louder
so let's
now.
take it back down. Let's take it back down to 60. Let's try 60.
Out there, I see you.
Okay, all right. Now I'm on 60.
Oh gosh, that's beautiful.
Well, that's where
Beautiful.
John. We're living together.
And I
Okay, maybe now is your
did. You,
are you at Unity
no, he's still at
On-
max, right? On your fader,
on your fader?
your fader. That's the slider
The fader, the slider.
for your mic. Is it still
Your mic?
at Unity, or did you push it up all the way earlier?
Oh, right now I left it all the way up.
Yeah, bring it down to the
bring
notch.
it to Unity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now maybe bring it back up to 65.
Okay. How does that sound?
That's actually pretty good. So I would take it up. Let's do 2 more
62,
on the
okay.
level. Yep, 62.
Oh, okay.
You want to keep
keep-
your fader
At Unity.
at Unity.
We're not going to move that. Yep, it's
Okay.
going to stay at Unity at the notch.
When we're talking about fader,
go ahead
we're
and
talking about
put-
this. Unity.
Right, yeah,
is
that's
this,
where it is. That's where it is.
This notch is Unity right here. that
Yeah,
we're-
that's where I am now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and your level is at 62?
It is.
Okay, so go ahead and just talk for a second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, go ahead and take it up to 65.
Okay.
You did have that fader all the way up.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's good.
Okay.
Now,
All right,
And then,
now-
John,
now-
you'll
now-
have to walk. John will have to walk you through
let
the
me try-
process.
So if I take it out of the scene again, if I get it like this, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So now, so it is going to sound low, but since we had your line corrected, your level corrected at Unity, you now have headroom to play with.
Okay.
And you shouldn't have to go back to, because if you start raising at this point, if you start raising your level and trying to raise your
My fader.
your slider, your fader, you're going to incorporate a ton of floor noise.
yeah.
Okay.
And surrounding noise. So, but now you have enough head. You should be able to go up to the top without pulling in too much room noise.
Okay.
You'll still hear some room noise.
I hear it.
There's no processing or anything on right now. So we hear
We will. I'll go
computer
back.
running and everything.
I'll go back and turn on some of the processing, and hopefully that's gonna cut down some of the room noise.
Okay. All right. I'm now at the max, and the mic is back up top and out of the scene.
I think once the processing is, so here's what I would. You want to keep it ideally out of frame all the time.
If we can.
Okay.
If we can't, I'll get another
and
solution.
And that's important because, when John starts going through this processing, some of the tonality can be slightly adjusted through processing because that mic is not necessarily designed for what you're using it
Right,
for. It's
right,
not designed
right.
to be out of frame.
Right.
But with processing, you can help it out a little bit within reason.
Okay.
So if that's where you're going to have it most of the time, John can try to make it sound as good as possible from there.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus, this is also what you will be recording for your podcast. So I want to make sure you sound your best. And if it is just us talking, it's fine. But if you want to put your podcast out there, I will try to talk you out of using it that way.
I would put it in front of you like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're doing a podcast, you need that close proximity.
I will say, before I switched everything around, it was like this.
Take your slider to Unity. I like my eardrums. I love you, Glenn, but I like my eardrums better.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so it was like here before I moved everything around on my.
That's acceptable. That's great.
And my issue was, see, now I had to put my computer to my left side rather than my right side. And I had to move my RØDECaster to my right side for various reasons. And so now my mic arm is in front of my computer, and I don't have a straight shot, clear shot of my computer screen. That's the reason I wanted the arm above, so I could see the computer screen. That's my deal.
Yeah, and right now it's great. If you're able to,
I'm just gonna have to. Oh, you know what? Let me try this. Maybe. Whoa, well, let's not knock over the Diet Pepsi, but let's see if I could.
That's one way to get a new computer.
Yeah. All right, I think I got something here. Let's try this. All right, tell me how is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's not as good as where you had it because position of the microphone is very crucial, and you all can see this, right? If this,
no, I can see my screen now. How am I doing now?
Now you're better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This. I'll have to do this, and if people don't like it, they're just got to lump it.
Yeah. So if you want to, we'll come back and talk about it. Let's say hi to Arthur first. He's been hanging out for a little bit. Hi, Arthur. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hopefully the mic is actually coming through my microphone.
I think it is. You sound pretty good. Like, are you through your DLZ creator?
Yes.
And on your phone?
On my Mac.
On your Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you could play a sound effect or something from your DLZ creator, then we'll know. Would you have anything loaded? Sometimes your Mac's computer. Oh, wait, you're also on Zoom, Ro. If you're on Zoom, if you haven't turned on original sound, or if your noise cancellation is at high. Oh, speaking of not turning on original sound, I did not have my original sound turned on.
Well, now you sound better.
I did not have my original sound turned on.
How do I check that?
Okay, let me show you that. Okay, that I actually have that set up. So if you see in your Zoom, and then go into your audio setting, by clicking here, do you see audio settings? Select audio settings. Yes. Let me see. Was it 3 dots? It's that little caret, like upward pointing caret, and then come down to audio setting. Next to your microphone.
Oh, okay. I see it.
You see it? And then go into your audio settings, and you should see now here. We want to hear your original sound, especially if we want to fine tune it. For this particular show, you can always leave it on Zoom background noise removal. Just keep it at low. But if you want us to hear truly what you're sounding for real from your DLZ creator, you should have original sound for musicians turned on. I think we've had that set up for your phone, maybe not on your Mac.
Original sound for musicians.
Yeah. And then turn high fidelity music mode on and stereo on, but don't do echo cancellation.
Okay.
And then when you're done, turn the settings off. And there's one other step. You want to make sure you come up to the top here that says original sound for musician. Make sure that it's on. What we did earlier in the settings, merely turn on the option to turn it on. If you want to turn it on, every meeting, you have to come up here and turn it on.
Okay. So on audio, got original sound for musicians, high fidelity music mode, stereo audio. not echo cancellation.
Yep.
And what else?
And that's it. So if you can see the screen, original sound on, high fidelity music mode checked, echo cancellation unchecked, stereo audio checked, and that's it. And you can just close it out from the settings.
All right, done.
Okay. And now go up to the top right corner of your Zoom window. You want to turn you see now the option to turn it on. Now you want to click on it and make sure it says on instead of off.
To turn what on?
You see up on the very top right corner of your Zoom window, there's now an additional thing. If you hover your mouse over the top right corner, you should see original sound for musicians. It should say off if you haven't turned it on. You see it?
Okay. I see something as I hover over the top right corner of my image where it says mute and then there's 3 dots.
Above it.
You're going to the very top of your screen.
Oh,
Above it.
okay. And I'm going to what?
Original sound for musician. Do you see the green check mark, custom streaming service or whatever? I don't know if you have that actually. Can you see the screen? If I spotlight my screen for everybody, see if you can see that screen. How do I spotlight?
Okay.
Spotlight for everyone. Sorry about that. So this is where you want to go to. This screen. Oh, it's difficult to see. This one, original sound for musicians.
Look in the chat.
I feel like such a newbie here. Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So on the very top, for some reason Siri is kicked in. On the very top, I do see the Zoom icon, meaning the word Zoom, and then I've got the video symbol. You're talking about in that row up there?
Are
Hold on
you
one second.
running the
I'll-
app or are you running from the website? Are you running Zoom from the a browser,
Yeah.
or do you
It's
have
running
the
Zoom from the Zoom app.
Zoom from the Zoom app? Okay. Now, do you see Charles' window? I'm gonna make
Yeah.
his window big. Wait, how come?
See that big arrow pointing out to something? Okay. Strange thing is like up there, like on yours where that big arrow is,
Uh-huh. Do you see anything?
in mine, I've just got leave meeting.
Leave meeting. Oh, do you have an older version?
Do you have your window maximized?
I don't. Let me just do that.
Maximize your window.
There you go. I have maximized it.
Now can you see you should see in the very right-hand corner, the
Yeah.
first thing you should see is view
Yes.
with dots. Okay, to the left of that, you should see where it says original sound for musicians, off or on.
Oh, okay. It's way over, for some reason, it's way over on the left. Okay.
You need to update Zoom.
Ah,
Oh, now we have mixed minus issue.
Yep.
so that original sound for music, musician is on, message is over on the top left. So I guess I need to, I'll have to update.
Was it previously on the top left? So maybe need a. Okay, so do that one more thing. Go to the settings. Or turn your original sound off again because we're hearing ourselves slap back.
Okay.
So turn it off. Turn original sound off.
And select what instead?
No,
just turn it off.
Where you turned it on, and the top menu bar is just get out of settings. And in the top left of your window where it says original sound for musicians.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go.
So your DLZ was not set up properly, which can be resolved actually fairly quickly. But since it's difficult to talk that way for us to hear ourselves slap back, so we can change all that settings and then have you turned on original music, original sound for musicians? This is
Okay,
a
now
good one.
explain why we did this. Why? What was the advantage of doing this?
The advantage of turning original sound.
Yeah.
The advantage is so that I can hear you precisely, because when you're playing music and all that, we couldn't hear anything because Zoom is doing such a good job of canceling out everything but your voice that I'm not hearing anything that you're playing. So if you plan on playing music or the sound effects, we won't be able to hear it. Yep. And also, in order to fine tune your sound, we had to get you into this original sound so that we can hear you correctly or accurately.
It just removes all the audio processing as much. There's still a little bit that happens in Zoom, even on original sound. There's still a very little bit, but it's very, very minimal. So it's removing all the processing that Zoom does on its side for the audio. And that way people with better audio setups can get a better response on their audio equipment. And Zoom isn't interfering.
Got it.
And so now I'm curious what your input and output are set. Now, if you are able to share your screen out there for your desktop and then show us what your Zoom audio setting is, that would give us an idea also whether or not you've selected the right input. Now, of course, I'm not super familiar with DLZ Creator. Sean is not here today to be the DLZ guy.
I was hoping Sean would be here so I could give him the news.
What news?
I text you.
I saw that. the code.
The 50% off for 3 months. I was like, sure, I'll take it.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. But thanks for sharing.
Well, I mean, it's 3 months, $22. I mean,
and then play with it.
We'll try it out. See what happens.
So, do you figure out there doing
Yeah,
desktop sharing?
So I'm just going to the settings to make sure.
Share your screen first so we can see what we can help direct you on Zoom. Share your entire desktop.
Yeah, so when it's telling me or showing me the options.
Oh, maybe I can't. Maybe I need to do. Sorry, I do multiple. Okay, I just activated multiple sharing. Okay, so now you should be able to share now.
Well, when I hit share, then it says allow Zoom to share your screen.
Yeah.
Open system preferences, security and privacy to grant access.
Yes, if you haven't shared it for the first time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I need to do that.
Yeah.
It's so funny when I do jump on support calls with people sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, it's asking me to do something." I'm like, "Oh, well, good to know you're a Mac user, because Mac's the only one that does that."
It's asking for your permission to capture things from your computer is what it's asking. If you haven't done it for that app before, it will ask you if you're doing it for the first time.
It says you can choose to quit Zoom or do it.
You don't have to quit Zoom. Just enable it.
Okay.
And then you should be good to go.
So is it working now?
Let's give it a try and see if you can share it.
Yeah, it should.
Okay, yeah, it says that you're sharing. So I'm going to bring your sharing screen up on here so we can all see it also. Okay, so here's your desktop, and let me see if I can see. Oh, you're coming through Ecamm. You fancy pants. No one's there. Okay.
That's why it was all different. Okay.
All right.
I should have said that.
That would have helped.
I'm actually glad that he actually surprised us when he shared his screen that he's on Ecamm. All right. All right. So, okay. So how can we do it now? So because he's from, we gotta then.
So actually, we want you to stop sharing your screen
on Zoom.
And on Zoom.
Well, you can do that, couldn't you?
Well,
This is like a demo mode now. So we can at least look at his Ecamm settings. So his microphone is DLZ Creator. So so can you go to your Ecamm settings? Ecamm's hopefully it'll show. Will it show the Ecamm settings?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Where it says Ecamm Live, click where it says Ecamm Live up at the Apple.
Yeah.
And then go to Preferences.
Oh my gosh, they're still calling it Preferences? Is it already on? I don't see it.
There you go.
Oh, yes. Okay. So now go to your audio tab. Okay. So speaker. So those two needs to match and needs to be the DLZ mix minus available setting. So when you choose DLZ Creator, is that the USB connection for your DLZ? I assume so. Can you click on it? I want to see the other options. Can you click on it one more time? Okay. All right. Okay, good. So DLZ, and do you know if you have DLZ USB mix minus turned on?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, because you could, because you always use that for your Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So it must be. All right. So now they're both DLZ. So you should be, that should solve it, right? I'm going to look at your other channel too. Should he turn on map input channels 1 and 2 for stereo? Maybe not now. Because he's only
worry about it right now.
He's only using this as an input and output, so he's not doing any mixing just yet. So maybe we'll leave it off for now. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then let's go to Zoom. Let's see. Go to your Zoom tab on the bottom, on the very right hand side of the panel. No, the same window, the Ecamm Live preferences. Same Ecamm Live preferences. There's a tab for Zoom all the way to the right. We're in audio right now. There you go. Okay, so add Zoom chat. Okay, Q&A. Enable, configure your audio profile in Zoom settings. So, do I have mine enabled? I can't remember. Should it be enabled or not? Yeah. I guess yes, because I don't have. Mine is disabled because I have RØDECaster Pro and I have 2 USB channels. So yes, I think that you can leave that enabled. Okay.
This down here.
The one that says Zoom audio processing, you can leave it as it is.
Okay.
Okay. And then, okay, go ahead and close that window. Now, do you have your Zoom chat window on the different screen? Or will it not show? Because no, it won't show. Because you're showing it us through Zoom. So Zoom probably won't show Zoom's interface.
Do you see a black bar where you can stop screen sharing anywhere on your monitor?
Yes.
I don't want you to click it, but I just want to know if it's there.
Yes.
Okay, so it won't show that top. It won't show enable. So you will have to so go ahead and while we've got you showing your screen here, go to an Ecamm up at the top, click options. So it's the third option. There you go. So I'm going to have you stop screen sharing. After you do that, I want you to come back to this options menu and click live demo mode.
The very bottom.
So we're going to stop Zoom screen share, and then you're going to come back here to options and click live demo mode.
Okay.
And you shouldn't see anything change. You just see a red bar around your monitor, and that's it.
Yep.
Oh wait, did he? Oh no, he didn't leave the meeting. I thought he left the meeting. Okay. No. So now from within Ecamm, choose the option to do your demo mode. And then we should see, for us, we should see everything from your desktop.
And now I need to
enable that in preferences.
In preferences. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gotta love that Apple security.
Yeah.
Oh, it's asking.
Yeah, he has to give permission to Ecamm as well because it's screen recording. Yeah, that's funny.
Wow. So I mean, I'll wait for you to come back and tell me what makes you try to download it. Or maybe he's always had it. Who knows?
Strange. It's not. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, continue doing what you're doing. I'll see if I can get.
Okay. Just go back to
Ecamm. And I will tell you, with Ecamm, you may have to close Ecamm and restart Ecamm.
Restart it.
Ecamm, you may have to. Zoom, I know you don't have to. You can get away with it. Ecamm, I don't know if you have to shut down Ecamm and then come back.
If you need to, you can always come back.
Okay.
If you need to restart.
Now it's just saying Ecamm Live does not have permission to access the contents of your Mac screen. Grant access in the screen recording section. The privacy security panel. Okay.
It'd be the same place that you turned on Zoom earlier.
Yeah. All right.
But it may require you to restart potentially. But if it does, you can restart and then come back to the meeting. My voice is about to give out.
In.
Huh? Yeah, we'll still be here. I'm a little under the weather. I think I have a cold. A cold brewing.
Get better soon.
Usually at the end of the day, my voice is gonna give out.
It's not showing Ecamm as
an option.
An option
screen
in
recording.
And security for some reason. It's showing OBS, Quicken, Skype, etc. Showing Zoom.
Have you restarted? When did you install Ecamm?
Like a week or two ago. A couple weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I was going to say, have you restarted your computer since you installed it? But
should he add it manually?
No, I wouldn't do that. But let's not worry about that right now.
Okay.
Go back to where you had to go in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah.
To turn on original sound. We want you to do that again.
Let's see if it solves the slapback.
Let's see if we solve the slapback.
In audio settings for Zoom?
No.
Just the
go to Zoom
meeting.
like you're looking at us in Zoom.
Yeah.
And then in the top left.
Yeah. Okay.
Why is it top left if it is within Ecamm? Is it because the window's small? Yeah, because the window is small probably.
Yeah.
It just pushes it to the...
Probably rearranges it a little bit.
Did you do it?
So once you click that
was showing before, right now it just says this meeting is being live streamed. That's what it says on the left.
Okay. Click OK. And then you hover your mouse over the top panel of that Zoom window. See if I can show people where I'm referring to.
Do you see it in the top right by chance?
It's not in the top right. It's
not where it was previously.
And where it was showing it on the left.
Can you see the original sound for musicians toggle?
All right,
in the Zoom window now.
We are back live.
Or no, in the Zoom window now.
We are back
live.
Says,
meeting is now streaming live on Ecamm Live.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, my Ecamm crashed, so I have to restart the stream, but we've resumed. We're back. Sorry, my Ecamm crashed. Okay, go on, Charles. Charles, are you able to... Oh, maybe you can't hear us.
You are muted on Zoom, John.
There you go. Okay.
There
All
we
right. All right, so carry on. I address the fact that Ecamm crashed. We resumed the broadcast. We're back.
Do me a favor, author. Go back to so get out of whatever you're in right now. Okay. I want you to go back to Ecamm, and in the top, we're gonna click Ecamm Live and go to Preferences.
Okay.
And then, well, no, you had that enabled.
The Zoom audio processing? Yeah.
Yeah, you had that enabled.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure why it's not showing, to be honest with you. It was showing before, and we didn't really change anything. We didn't change anything that should have affected it, and now it's not showing.
Okay. We are back again. Crash again. Ecamm, I'm gonna report.
Back up.
I'm gonna report
I see
to
him. I don't hear
Ecamm.
him.
I'm going to report to Ecamm that when you're live and switching from preview mode to live mode, it'll lock my computer up. Anyway, let's bring the sound back to the others.
Right?
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Can.
Now I love muting and unmuting myself with a Stream Deck button. I did that for Sean. Because he wants to not hear the music so you guys can continue on the conversation. So I did that now. So why would he need, I'm curious, why would he need to update Zoom if he's not
sure.
on Zoom? He's in Ecamm.
Yeah. But there's a part of me that wonders if it's not piggybacking off of Zoom being on your computer.
Sean's here. I just saw him in the chat. There you go. Hi, Sean. Where are you? Is Sean on the call? No. Anyway, Sean, come on, hop on if you can.
I got news for you, Sean.
He's got news for you. Come on. But so
I don't know.
Oh, working is working. Working and watching.
Is that what they call it today?
Working and watching. So yeah. Anyway, Sean, I played my kindergarten project of the theme song for soundcheck, and then earlier. So anyway, you have to go listen to it and tolerate it, but it's okay. Learner to learner, I have no shame. If I learn to do new things, great. What's the news? He asked. What's the news?
Well,
oh, he's gonna show. Oh, should I give you full
no,
frame?
you're good. There we go. Pinnacle AI Studio on Riverside.
Hey,
We're gonna try it out. We're gonna do some small business spotlights and kind of see how it goes. So, but I totally cheated. I found a 50% off for 3 months coupon code, so I could try it out.
there you go.
Yeah.
So say this is actually good. So Sean, if you need to work and you can't come, if he can tell me ahead of time, I'll update you. Since he's not hosting yet, so he didn't tell me because I'm still hosting it. But if you're unable to do it, just let me know and I can drop it in there. Earlier, yeah. So he said, let him know if you have any question.
Definitely.
And so plus also, as I was saying earlier, if the link is not working, because after today on the website, you will see that the typical join or call in via Zoom button is going to turn into join Sean's live stream I think there's two. One is to participate
Riverside.
in the meeting through Riverside, and the other one is to stream through Riverside.
I think you should just put the. I think you should just do the one link to where you come in through the viewing side, and then if they want to request to come in, they can request from that screen. So that way they can watch or yeah.
So people who are watching can request to join, so there's no need of posting
Correct.
that link. Okay. Sean, what do you think of that? That's good. So everybody, I only have one link to click. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, he said he was gonna go say that. Okay, all right, cool. So I'll update that so that you will only have one link to click to watch it, and while you're watching it, and if you want to join the call, you can just click a button to join. That's even better. That's what he was saying last week, that it's all integrated, and because the viewing platform and the hosting meeting platform is the same, you can do that. Anyway,
when you're doing the share, when you do the share, you can pick your share link as audience, and then from that audience link,
is the link that you send me the link that will allow people to request joining? Sorry about my water pouring. I have no hands to mute my microphone. Oh, I forgot to share something with you. Oh, Ecamm related. I waited until now. Okay, well, let's wait. Okay, all right. Okay. I, as y'all know, am a member of the Gold Mug Club of Ecamm, and that came today.
Ooh,
look at you.
So now I have a gold mug. Not only that, I have coffee. So look, thank you, Ecamm. I feel so special. This is the gold mug. I opened it. I did not look at it. I put it back because I wanted to open it live. Hopefully, it's not crashed. As long as I don't change to preview mode mid-stream, I am. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Cool. Maybe I'll clip this clip and post it on the.
we need a drum roll. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. Wow. Let's see if it'll focus or not. My stupid camera might not focus. Hang on. There. Ecamm fam. Gold Mug Club. I feel so special.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're welcome? You were the one
because
who
I told you about
it.
because I gave you such a I take credit for this because I gave you such a hard time about your John Ong effect and told you how you could do everything through Ecamm, and now here you are. You're doing everything through Ecamm.
I'm doing
so
everything
I'm totally
through
taking
Ecamm,
credit for
and
that.
I got a gold mug. Oh my gosh, this is special. This is fun.
They sent you that to make sure that you never go back to the John Ong effect.
After 1 year, I can decide. No, I'm all well, unless like I don't know, if I lose my job or something.
Hey, Charles, since I've sort of also kind of came in through the back door of this Ecamm club, I basically need to take a Ecamm 101 tutorial, and maybe I'll find, start looking for that online and see what YouTube references might be out there. But if there's anything you recommend, so that I can get up to speed on a lot of the basics.
Join the Facebook user group. Have you joined it?
I have not.
Okay, that's the first thing you join, because that's how I got my gold mug. Is I asked a lot of questions.
I don't really care about how to use it. I just want the mug.
So I'll tell you, if you're a technical, non-technical person, Adrian Salisbury, he does some phenomenal training videos for Ecamm. I did put his YouTube channel in the link. As link in the Zoom chat, so you can grab that.
It's under his name, Adrian Salisbury?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
Salisbury.
I also added that to the chat as well for YouTube.
Arthur, Adrian actually does a full-fledged course. I think it costs $200. I did it. He has a whole series of videos, and I did it on my own. And then he has a live class that he does twice a year, once in February and once in like September or October, one of those. And I did that as well. So I would recommend doing that. Even if you just go through the videos on your own, it's worth it because you get access to the Facebook group in Ecamm, and that we're all meeting there. We meet 3 times a week, and I learn so much in that group, almost as much as I learn here.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not against, the idea of, paying for a course if needed. I think at this point, like I said, I want to understand a lot of the basics, and I'm pretty intuitive about picking up on things. I mean, if I can follow instructions, so.
Well, and he does a good job, and that's why I say, so if you go to his YouTube channel, just go to playlist. Don't even worry about the videos. Go to playlist, and he's got everything laid out. He has this playlist in order of basically how you need to go through it. New to Ecamm Live, start here, microphones. There's a Descript integration with Ecamm, so he goes over that. He does some Q&A, and then he gets into like mic selection, camera selections, lenses, audio. So he covers a lot of different aspects, but they're all broken down by playlist. So you can start off with the beginner ones and but when it comes to just like being able to ask questions, the Facebook group is definitely a huge reach. The Ecamm Live Facebook group, just know that they do have 2 Facebook groups. So if you ever run the beta software, be sure to post in the beta group if it's related to the beta software. That's one thing that they really try to keep separate because they don't want to confuse people that are not on the beta thinking that there's an issue when really it's just something in the upcoming release that they're working out through the beta.
And I put both links in the chat as well. So if you're anyone who's interested and Arthur too, you can get those 2 groups. The group that I part of both groups, but the one that you can always use is the Ecamm Live one, the Ecamm Live community, and that's great. I learned a lot from there. I have a lot of like very specific questions that is pertaining to my own setup that I can ask, and there'll be people who would have that knowledge. Obviously, you can still use this space like soundcheck because I'm talking more about Ecamm. I feel like I think it's really smart for Ecamm to be. I think that's like part of the marketing, like word of mouth, because it is very apparent. Whatever we use to live stream, people will ask, and therefore you talk about it. So you can always use me and other users like Charles, Glenn also use it. So you can start using it and then come ask more advanced and more specific questions about it.
Okay.
And every now and then there'll be other creators from Ecamm on this call. So as you've seen in the past. So
yeah.
All right. And I'm looking for so expect all these newbie questions because I'm looking for the reference in the chat. And should I be going through the Zoom in that? Because when I click on the there it is. Never mind. Okay.
Now no, there are 2 things I want to do. Number 1, I want to make sure if our advice for you to switch to your DLZ creator for both your input and output is working. And I want to kind of recap that. In fact, that's good to recap.
He can't find, so I'll preface this that he can no longer see the original sound for a musician switch in the window.
Oh, an option. Maybe he can reboot to see if it would show up.
But if I set it, if I put in the settings as such,
but
on?
It's not. So that's one of the kind of confusing things. You would think
Oh.
so. So for whatever reason, Zoom, you set it in audio settings, but then they have this auxiliary setting. Think of it as a safety switch, if you want to think of it that way, where earlier for you is in the top left. For John and I, it's in the top right. But it said original sound for musicians, off. You clicked it, and it said on, and then we started getting a bunch of slap back, and that's when we said, whoa, turn it off. Let's go through some stuff and make sure everything's set right. Since then, you haven't been able to see it.
But
so.
yeah, did you see when I was rebooting earlier? Oh, not rebooting. When my Ecamm crashed, did you verify to see if others' original sound is still on in the settings?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
We did verify that, and then we did verify that in the Zoom settings of the Ecamm, it is set to not bypass Zoom audio settings.
It's enabled.
But we can try toggling. It's enabled. We can try disabling it and see if that, because you have yours disabled, correct?
Yeah, but disable means, so another thing that I would like to check. Hi, Tony in Clubhouse. Another thing that I would like to check is make sure that find out what the microphone and the speakers are, meaning input and output for his Zoom.
We did that.
What is his input in Zoom, within Zoom?
His processor.
Processor? What do you mean processor? It should be Ecamm. It should be Ecamm virtual mic.
That's
his
right.
mic. So
that's right.
If it is not there, then
that's right.
Then something funky might be happening.
So you're going to go back to audio settings where we checked your speaker and your microphone earlier. Make sure the microphone is set to Ecamm Live Virtual. And if you don't see it, let us know. If you don't see it in the microphone drop down, just let us know.
Okay.
Maybe I should simulate that. So you're not seeing what he's saying, but I'm just trying to see if I can get everybody to follow along.
It should be on DLZ, right?
No.
No, so it actually needs to be on Ecamm.
Live virtual mic.
Yes.
Yep.
Ecamm Live Virtual Mic is where it should be. But why would it let him change it if it says enabled? Maybe you can override it. And then your speaker would be your DLZ.
DLZ. Yeah. Now we can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
All right, I just went back.
Okay, so here we adjusted back.
Do me a favor. Let's go out of audio settings within the Zoom window.
Yeah.
And then go back to Ecamm, and we're going to go to where it says Ecamm Live Preferences. And once you have that Preferences window open, let me know.
It's open.
Okay, go all the way to the right to the Zoom tab.
Yep.
And where it's enabled, I want you to disable it. I want you to bypass Zoom.
Zoom audio processing?
Yep.
Right now it's
Yeah,
enabled. Okay, I'll disable it. It is now disabled.
Okay. Now,
can he
go
hear
ahead
us?
and speak?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm speaking and it is
Okay.
disabled.
Now, does he still have to set his microphone in? I use enabled, so.
So what is your
John,
set when it's enabled?
Virtual. Well, even when I use the virtual mic and the Pro Stereo is my output, my input is virtual mic, and then my output is Pro Stereo.
Within Zoom's input.
Yeah.
And output.
Yep.
So if it is disabled like mine is set to RØDECaster Pro RØDECaster Pro Chat, because I want to be able to control the Zoom call audio on a separate channel on my RØDECaster, but that's not the case for Author because DLZ does not have that. So
what would he set his to?
what if we just set it back to where it should be, like
Enabled?
Or even if it's disabled, we just mimic your setting using Ecamm Virtual.
So in your Ecamm, hold on one second. Let me do this. So on your Ecamm, can you see my screen? I want you to look for the widget that says sound levels. The Ecamm widget that says sound levels, and let me know what that top line says. Mine says RØDECaster Pro Stereo. Yours may say DLZ.
How do I find this widget? All right, so going to Ecamm.
Go into Ecamm.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a bunch of floating windows around your... So you're looking for the floating window that says sound levels. You may have one that says camera effects. Okay, so on the sound levels, what's that top line say?
DLZ Creator.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. So now if you go to your Zoom, click the little up arrow next to the microphone, and you don't have to go into audio settings, but just click the up, and you should see a list of inputs and a list of outputs. So you'll see select a microphone, you'll see a few options there, and then select a speaker. We want to set your microphone to Ecamm Live Virtual Mic, and then the speaker to DLZ. And give us a thumbs up once you've done that. Okay, go ahead and try to talk. Still can't hear.
No sound. Okay.
That's so weird.
Would it be better if we see it
Back on DLZ Creator.
within Zoom?
Yeah.
I wonder if we need a reboot. Like, I would switch your Ecamm Zoom setting. So within Ecamm's preferences, go to Zoom.
Let's do one more thing. Oh, in Ecamm, go to where it says output.
Yeah.
In the top menu bar, output.
Yeah.
You'll see video monitor, audio monitor, NDI, deck link. I want you to look at the virtual mic, and is in use checked?
Office checked.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Can you switch it on?
Office checked. Can you switch it on?
Yeah.
Good call.
Once you switch it on, go back into...
You might have to give it permission.
It says upgrade to Ecamm Live Pro. Virtual mic requires...
So you're on trial.
Pro edition.
You're on the trial. That's what it is.
Oh.
But trial should have pro features.
Nope.
Oh, it's after 2 weeks.
Yep.
I thought I did.
Did you pay for it?
Maybe the check bounced. I don't know.
Oh, so you paid for it. Maybe you haven't signed. Have you signed in to it? Like, is your Ecamm license active?
This must be the issue.
Ecamm Live.
I'll have to check.
Go back to go back to Ecamm Live and then go to Preferences. And the second tab from the left is Account. And you should see your email there, and then you'll see Manage Account. So Ecamm Live, Preferences, go to the Account tab, and then you should see the email that you signed up with and the plan that you're on, or Manage Account button, or Manage button.
Manage Account.
Okay, next to Plan, do you see anything? You should see Account, your name,
it says
your
Ecamm Live Annual. And it's
Ecamm Live, not Ecamm Live Pro. So you pay for it, but you're paying for the non-pro account, and Ecamm Live with Zoom only works for the pro account and not the regular account.
So now,
including
now
virtual
here's the
microphone.
thing. Right. So here's the thing. If you decide that, hey, I didn't realize there was a difference, I need to switch this, jump into the Facebook group or go to their website and contact. They're really good about support. That is one thing that I love about them. And if you go actually in the help menu, you can contact support. Just let them know. Say, hey, I didn't realize there was a difference between Ecamm Live and Ecamm Live Pro. I thought I was signing up for what I wanted. And maybe you did.
Now that I recall, I think I did know the difference, and I chose not to get the Pro because I wanted to see if I would even use the features within the regular one. You know,
I gotcha.
But well, here's yeah, go ahead.
When you get ready to upgrade, if you're like, okay, I could see, like, I keep seeing these videos around the virtual mic and like the Zoom stuff. I feel like I got a grip on what's there on the subscription on Matt, but I can see some benefits of going to Pro. If you decide that you want to upgrade, just reach out to them if you have any questions about, hey, I've already paid for the year, but I'd like to go, you know, I'm 2 or 3 months in.
Yeah.
How can I, like, how can we figure this out to where I'm not basically losing 9 months of a subscription or, you know,
So
they'll work it out with you.
If I were to, I would ask you, what does
Pro get you?
Utility advantage to having this virtual mic and using this Pro version? What will I be able to do?
You will be able to, and I'll say it really quickly, and now I'll have Charles talk about it because that's what he does most of the time. To me, what it does is it allows you to use Ecamm Live as your camera source, no matter what app you're using. So you can use Ecamm Live's effect, Ecamm Live's everything, you know, doing overlays like, you know, name supers and all that. You can do all that. But all you need to do, whatever app you're participating in that conversation, you just need to choose the virtual camera. They will see the feed that's coming from Ecamm. You can fine tune the color. You can do green screen. All Ecamm functionality can be utilized as just a camera source, no matter which app you're using. And Charles, you can share with us.
So, I mean, I'm on Zoom all day long, and so I rely heavily on the virtual webcam because I take I have a Canon EOS, so I take the camera feed from that, I pipe it into Ecamm, and that's how I'm able to, you know, get my background, get everything framed, do the color grading on my video source, do my overlays in Zoom, and so, you know, that was a huge thing for me. And even using a lot of web-based platforms, I can pipe everything that I'm doing in Zoom. If I'm on Alignable doing networking calls or Google Chrome, I can pipe all of that in because I'm able to utilize my virtual mic and my virtual cam. For me, the virtual mic, the biggest benefit is that I don't have to worry about mic delay. It totally eliminates that. So I can set it to where when I use that as my mic because I know it's in the same sequence as my video because I've set the mic delay in Ecamm, and so I don't have to worry about, you know, obviously straight USB audio from my RØDECaster is going to be ahead of a video source. So by going through the virtual mic, I don't have to worry. I usually set a 5-frame delay on my mic. And so by picking that virtual camera and the virtual mic, I know they're in sync. And it just gives more consistent results. I have less things to worry about. I can do whatever the heck I want to on my RØDECaster, and it all pipes in through that virtual mic.
Okay. That's helpful to know. All right.
It simplifies a lot of things. The other part of it, if you plan on doing any recording, you can do... on the Pro, you can do 1440 and 4K streaming and recording. On the regular one, you are limited to 1080. So you can do Super HD and 4K. You also get the isolated audio and video recording, which is super nice if you're doing a bunch of recording. You want to be able to master it after the fact. It will take each video source and record it separately. So gives you a lot of capabilities in editing in post. And there's a few other little things. There's additional transition effects and, a few other little perks in there. And then you get Zoom. The Zoom
now I'm
integration as well.
curious. Well, now I'm curious if he's actually using Zoom. Is he using? It looks like he's using. No, I actually saw the 4 tabs, which means he's actually. Either you might not be using Zoom within Ecamm because it's not part of your subscription plan. You might actually be calling us from Zoom right now. Because I saw whenever he was sharing the screen, I saw those 4 tiles. Like before you join the call, when you join the call, it turns into the people who are participating in the call.
That's true.
Yeah.
So let me ask you: did you open Zoom to join this call?
I went into Ecamm, and then it gives you the choice of
the Zoom window. Okay, so that makes me wonder if you're on the regular and if you're on the non-pro account. This would be a good question for the group. If you're on the non-pro account, but you have Zoom installed on your computer, can you still join the call? It just won't. You're still just running 2 pieces of software instead of running 1 piece of software.
But yeah, because I saw his Zoom window.
No.
He has the 4 tiles, which means it's not joined. So okay, so you're on the Mac right now, right? So can you click on anywhere on our Zoom window? Just click on anywhere as if you're going to, change your audio setting or whatever. Just click on the image. When you click on that image, look up next to your Apple icon, to the right of your Apple icon in the top left corner on your screen. Tell me if it says Zoom or Ecamm Live. But activate,
Zoom.
bring it.
Zoom.us.
Okay, there you go. So you're running it from Zoom, not within Ecamm, because it's not part of your program. It does not run within Ecamm.
And I will say, if it says zoom.us, you definitely need to update Zoom.
Yeah, it should say Zoom.
It should say Zoom Workplace.
Workplace, yes. That is why. Okay.
All right,
do you want to do it?
Do
you want to update your Zoom, and then come back?
I will do it. I don't want to focus on that too much right now. I do want to kind of introduce an idea that perhaps is for a later discussion we could maybe spend more time with. I have a pretty clear idea on what my application is, on what I want to do.
Yep.
And then, I think it would be helpful to work backwards from that to see
if you needed any other
once
thing.
I know, like, I'm going to be delivering courses. I'm going to be delivering courses, but also instructional videos on speaking English.
Yeah.
For English learners throughout the world. And that's what I've been doing in Clubhouse for the last few years. And I want to transition that and taking a lot of my community into YouTube, into other platforms, but particularly into YouTube, on my YouTube channel, so that I can start delivering some of that content through YouTube. And I would like to be able to present somewhat simply, but also production-wise, looking somewhat professional, I would hope.
Yeah.
To try to deliver that content. A lot of my content is me going into a topic and just explaining it. Sometimes I'll bring people in, as I do in Clubhouse, obviously, that's easy. But if I can bring 1 or 2 people in selectively, even just audio, just bringing them in through audio and having a conversation with them, so we can kind of dive into various aspects of English, or even giving them feedback on their pronunciation, whatnot, on their vocabulary, on their grammar. And this is the content I want to produce, And so as I think about that, and you are familiar with all the features that may or may not be useful to this application, some of which perhaps I'm not even thinking of that might be useful for this kind of application. And that's what I'd like to maybe dive into at some point in the future where I
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good
It's a good
question.
use case.
Yeah. Charles, do you have anything to say to that with his what he wanted to do?
I will say, yeah, I mean, as far as like video quality, you don't really have to worry about the video quality. 1080 is more than fine for what you're going to be doing. We do course, we work with a lot of course creators in our platform. So, but they all record at 1080 because ultimately it's more about delivering the video fast, not having to sit there and wait on it to load this nice 4K video when they just want instruction. So you won't experience a limitation in that. However, if you're wanting to get into interviewing people, I think you will find it much easier with Ecamm Live Pro, as you'll be able to condense everything into that virtual mic. You will have access to, even if you don't use the Zoom integration, we'll take that to the side for a second. You'll have interview mode.
That comes with the Pro plan.
That comes with the Pro. So you have that's baked into Ecamm. That's Ecamm's interview format. However, if you choose to use Zoom, you also have the option of them being able to call in. So they don't even have to join the meeting. It's a bit of a process, depending on how you set up your Zoom room. You can make it easier or harder depending on your settings in Zoom itself. But it does enable that option where they can just call in. You don't have to worry about video. You can have that conversation. But then you also if you're not going live, if you're going to do some post-production, it would be nice to have the independent tracks for everything, because you could take a larger session, say a 30-minute or an hour session that you had with someone, and be able to clip pieces out of it and just use it and repurpose part of it for a course and repurpose parts of it for YouTube or other things. And the nice thing is it records each camera feed itself and each audio track itself. So that way you can truly isolate things and repurpose them in a whole new sense. It'll cut down on a lot of the post because everything's already separated for you. But there is a combined feed as well. So if you're like, hey, you know what, I just want to use the combine, you can do that, but then it's also separating. So there'll be some advantages going to Pro, but I would probably wait till you have kind of your process down. Like this is my content delivery process. This is what I want to do, and then you'll probably see better how Pro works a little bit better into that and how you could take advantage of some of the features more.
The way I've been kind of running it, and obviously Clubhouse sort of or creates the environment, has the environment to sort of foster this, but I've been kind of running it as a podcast, where I'm talking mostly. Once in a while, I might bring somebody in, but mostly I'm explaining things and just telling them, not just explaining things. Sometimes I kind of dive into the nuances of the language, especially when we're talking about idioms and figures of speech. As you can imagine, sometimes that requires a lot of explanation. It's like, what the heck does that mean?
Surely not with English language. I mean, come on. English is the easiest language to learn. What are you talking about?
English will keep English teachers in business forever because it is confusing as hell. It is sometimes so many rules that are not followed, not just in terms of spelling and things like that, but it's just a dynamic language. It's incorporated influences from so many different other languages that phrases kind of seep in. And so I explain that. you know, so the way I would probably look at whatever production I have would be as a podcast, kind of talking through all this stuff.
Solo one, like
And
interaction
yeah.
is not a big deal at this point.
Not a big deal.
I think the non-pro will be fine for you. So especially starting out, I think you'll be fine with just Ecamm Live. I don't think you'll need to go pro. Once you get into it a little bit more, and you know, give it 2 or 3 months, play around with it, start taking courses. I mean, you're just going to get a few more features if you upgrade to pro. So, you know, you could start off where you're at, start learning the platform, and then you may run and be like, okay, now that I actually understand how all this works together, now I understand why I may want that feature or not want that feature. Or you may realize, okay, I understand what it does now, and yeah, I don't need it for what I do.
Sean has a good point. Sean says,
so.
try Riverside.
I got a coupon for 50% off for 3 months.
But you just got yours. You just got your.
I can't
I
tell you
did.
how
I
many
just
times
signed
I get,
mine.
I can't tell you how many times I get a pop-up or a video
On
ad,
Riverside.
For Riverside because of all the stuff that I tend to consume.
Research.
Saying, "Oh yeah, you should get Riverside," and it does. I believe me, I've made a note of it. Like I definitely need to look into it. That's something I will look into.
Arthur, do you plan on doing this live, or are you using it to record?
Not frequently, but because people do want to hear me live on a regular basis, I may do that. And not may, I will. It's just about how frequent. Will it be a once a week thing, a once every couple weeks thing? Yeah, I will be doing live.
That's good. I mean, definitely look into it, and it's very different from what I wanted to do, because everything I wanted to do relies solely on Zoom integration. Being able to have you all on the show right now requires me to have Zoom integration. Yes, I could use the interview mode, which also is part of the Pro plan, but it is not like Zoom. It does not process audio well. It requires a lot more processing power on my end and on your end, as opposed to Zoom call. It's so light on both ends, on my end and their end. And when you get to a point where when you start doing your live stream and you start to have a lot of interaction with people in the chat, like I still don't. I mean, I've only started this like 2 months, less than 2 months, on obviously not what I'm doing, but on YouTube. And so when you see you have a lot of interaction, when you can tell people to go watch it on YouTube and people start asking questions within the chat, that's when you'll probably start to have that interest of maybe I can bring people in. If you are talking about people from the international viewers who want to learn English, let's say if you have somebody in Argentina who is a loyal listener or viewer of your channel, but would like to call in and participate and practice, you can, in your Zoom calls, set up to have international, like whatever countries that you want to have the call-in number that they have available, you can set it up in your meeting and have that available to share so that people can call in. And there's like a lot of potential that I've been, trying to think of how I can use the integration. But until then, do what you need to do. There's this other side, a big 90% of this, the show and the podcast and the stream is you talking, teaching English. And then when the potential of expanding on that side where you actually bring people in and have that Clubhouse effect that it's not typically on YouTube, right? The Clubhouse effect is why I'm bringing this Clubhouse thing that I've been doing for so long into YouTube. And the reason why I hop on it so quickly, even surprising Charles, was because I see the potential of the integration of Zoom and this. I did not even want to pay for Zoom. I was cheap. I was like, I already paid for the Pro plan. I want to use the interview mode, but the experience wasn't great for my listeners. and the experience wasn't great for my computer. And when they have the Zoom integration, I hop on the beta test, and I think within the week, I tested it with Charles when the beta first came out. I think within a week I paid for Zoom. I see the value of it for sure. Wait until you get
And
there.
listen,
I need to
if
play
John
around
is
with
going to pay for a subscription, I mean,
Yeah, it's good. But I'm very excited that you're hop on the Ecamm bandwagon, and now we can talk shop even more on here. You can
I'm looking forward to it.
you can bring, you know, by the time I come back from my holiday, which is probably a good segue to show people my holiday schedule. I'm on vacation starting the 23rd, but the 16th is when Sean's going to take over the show. I will still be on there as a guest. Sean, if you're still listening, I see FY. Wait, what is it? Running out of hard drive space, turning off iCloud sharing. 60 hard drive. Anyway, I was just reading his message on YouTube. But Sean, if you're watching, if you're still listening, if you have a new link that you would like for me to incorporate onto my website for people to join, where you, or maybe the link that you shared with me already include people participating, then let me know and send me the new link, and I'll update on the website.
Okay.
Charles, go through processing with Glenn. Okay, what is it? I forgot already.
Well, we were going to work on my processing, but
Oh yes. Oh, your audio. Yes. I was like, what processing? What? Okay. All right. Okay. So now,
well, I mean, we don't have, you know.
Oh no.
If
We're
it
good.
can be done in 90 seconds, let's do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it right. Okay. So let's get back. Let's get Charles. Let's get Glenn on, and then let's talk about your processing. So we've had you turn off all processing for your microphone, set your gain right.
But by the way, I also made a little change in my mic in Zoom. I went because my mic was also set for RØDECaster 2-main stereo, and I changed my mic to virtual Ecamm. But I left my speakers as rodeo main stereo too, and so can you hear a difference now in my voice?
It will, like, what is your input for Ecamm? So what you're saying is you're changing your
when you were showing Arthur, I checked my own, and I realized my mic was set to RØDECaster instead of Ecamm virtual.
Okay. Now, at least we can hear you, so that's good. That's working. And you can still hear us, and it's coming into your RØDECaster through your the USB number 1, I assume.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So now I just need to know, what is your you still need to make sure that Zoom's processing of your sound is still the way it should be, meaning no voice cancellation, echo cancellation, and all that. Is that still on? Is the original sound?
You know,
Once you switch it turns off.
Yeah. Turn back off. I'm going to turn.
Yeah,
You're
turn
exactly
back on.
right. Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Now you sounded great this way. Now,
Okay, now how do I sound now?
Okay,
How do I sound
now you sound more correct. You don't sound like your Zoom call processing, so you sound like what you were sounding earlier.
Okay.
I can hear your room tone a little bit, which we're gonna address that. So double check and see, Glenn, in your Ecamm. Let's go to your Ecamm preferences menu.
Okay.
And then check and see if your audio speakers should be set to probably main also.
Yes.
Okay. And then in your Zoom, do you have Zoom audio processing disabled or enabled? It's the last tab within your Ecamm Live preferences.
I clicked on Zoom, and I'm looking at my preferences in the Zoom tab. Which one do you want me to check?
It's Zoom audio processing, toward the bottom.
Okay, it is checked on.
It is enabled, right? Okay, good.
Yes.
So and then
that's a different. That's a drop down.
Yeah, it's a drop down.
It's enabled. It's enabled.
Okay, and you said what is checked?
Add Zoom chat.
Oh, got
and
it.
Q.
But what about manual audio mode? That is not checked, right?
No, it is not.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. All right, now that we've got that verified, so your sound is still the same sound that we were hearing earlier. It's just that we're hearing it through Ecamm. So Arthur, I don't know if you're following right now. If you do have Ecamm Live Pro, you are able to do what Glenn just did. He's actually bypassing his RØDECaster Pro is going into his Ecamm, and then the Ecamm is piping the sound into the Zoom call. So right now, what you are able to do now is what I'm able to hear now is hearing your full sound as high a fidelity as possible of your RØDECaster setup. Now I can fine tune it. So
Okay.
now I'm gonna switch to my down cam, see if you can at least see this and follow.
I can see that.
Okay. So I'm curious what processing you have on. So go to your mic like that. And then I know we have you turn off all your processing earlier.
Right.
And is it still all off?
You have more buttons.
Yeah, you only have
above
three,
processing.
right? You only have three?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you probably have the non-advanced one. Because I have advanced turned on. That's why it's on their way. But that's okay. So go ahead and tap on the advanced button on the bottom right, so that you should start see 8 buttons now.
Yeah, I see them.
Okay. So now you see all the 8 buttons, and we're gonna. And is the processing still off? Like the green light still not on?
It's off. It's off.
So I'm going to have you turn off a few things before we even turning. Well, I think you have to turn it on before you can select it. So go ahead and turn on processing, and then I'm going to walk you through, and I'll have you follow my. It's already a little better, so which means the noise cancellation is working. I just want to check. Go and tell me what your settings are on the first one, the top row, the most left button, which is the high pass filter.
Okay.
Is that on? It shouldn't.
Yes.
Is okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It looks like yours.
okay, looks like mine. Okay, good. Now we'll go to. You see that little tiny right pointing arrow next to high pass filter? Tap on that one time. It's gonna skip over to the next button.
Okay.
De-esser. Why do I have mine on? Testing. Okay, I'm gonna turn my de-esser off. So follow me. Turn the de-esser off.
Okay.
And then tap to the right one more time.
Okay.
And noise gate. Tell me what your noise gate settings are. Those tiny little numbers. It's actually decent right now.
Everything looks like everything looks like yours. Mine looks just like yours.
Okay, so if you read the number from its threshold 60, do you see 60 on the threshold? I know it's tiny.
It's minus 37.
Minus 37, okay. And then the hold?
50.
Okay, and range?
9.0.
Okay, that's not too aggressive. Okay, attack?
30.0.
30.0, okay. Release?
200.0.
Okay, and then hysteresis?
0.2.
Okay. Maybe let's play a little bit on your threshold And maybe I'll have you mimic my attack. So have the attack come to about 0.69.
Okay, how will I do that?
So tap it once until it's green,
Okay.
and then use the dial on the right-hand side.
Okay, and bring it to how much again?
0.69.
Oh, 0.6. That's
Yeah.
way different.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow, I gotta turn it down like 30.
And then we'll just go straight to threshold. So I will have you.
Okay, yeah, I did the okay. We're at 0.69.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And then go back to your threshold.
Okay,
And in your threshold, you said yours is minus 30 something.
yeah, minus 37.8.
Okay. So which means it's up a little bit like higher like that. So I can hear, let's have you turn that without talking. I'm going to have you turn that to the left, turn the dial to the left so that the number becomes bigger. And keep turning. And then tell me when you hit 60. Okay, yeah, I can hear it. Like so what we're doing is we're increasing the threshold so it's not kicking in. Threshold is when it's going to kick
Okay.
in. So now you're at 60, right now, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now I have you go back and turn it back to where you had it again, like about minus 30 something, and then keep
Okay.
going to the right until you stop hearing your room tone. What number are you at?
I'm at minus 15.
So it's all the way now. Almost all the way to the right.
Now it is.
Okay, all right. So it's not
We're at 0.
okay. So bring it back to like 30 something again.
Okay.
30, 32 or something, wherever you had it.
At 37.8.
Now come down to range. Range is the lowest button on the left.
Got it.
You have it at 9, right?
Yes.
I'm going to make it a little bit more aggressive. So turn it to the left a little bit more. And slowly turn it, and you should hear the room go quiet. Okay, it's quieter now. Okay, what number is that?
15.
15. Okay, leave it at 15, and then we're going to talk and see if it's doing anything funky to your voice.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Okay.
15.
Okay, I'm hearing a little bit more drastic now, the change. And where you had it isn't bad, but let's try to see if we can find a little common ground there. So you're still at minus 30 something.
Yeah, I went back to where it was, minus 37.8.
You bring it back to the left for your threshold again. So meaning not as aggressive. To the left, so minus smaller number. Minus bigger number, sorry. Turning to the left.
Okay, I'm turning it now.
To maybe 40, minus 40.
That's where it is, yeah.
Okay, and what is your hold set at?
50.
50, okay. Your release?
200.
Sure, okay, that's not too bad. Maybe bring it down to about 100 and something.
The release.
Yeah, tap on the
Okay.
release and bring it down to about minus at 106.
Okay, I'm turning it.
Okay,
I'm at 138.
okay. All right, now speak back into your microphone like you normally would, and I'll just carry on the conversation with you.
Okay. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5,
Okay,
6,
go ahead and
7.
stop and start again. I'm hearing a little pop.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay, stop.
5, 6.
Give yourself like a longer process. 1, 2, 3, and then stop.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, I hear a little bit of a pop there. So threshold, where's your threshold now? Like 40 something now?
Yeah.
And your attack is down to 0.69, right?
Right.
Okay. Go to your hysteresis. You said it's at 0.2.
Yes.
Crank that up a little bit to the right. So you see that line on the left side should go up too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at 0.25 now. Keep going up.
Okay, you can stop there.
Okay.
All right, take care, Charles. See you later. Thanks, Charles. Okay, all right.
Bye, Charles.
Okay, so where is it at now? 0.25.
25.
Okay, let's just leave it there. I stopped hearing the
Okay.
pop now.
Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And your release is at 100 something?
138.
130, okay. Hold, turn it down to like 80 something.
Okay, so it's at 50. We're going to 80.
87, I have it. So try and see if we can get there.
Yeah, I'm at 87 now. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, all right. It sounds pretty good. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next one. Noise gate is the hardest thing. Okay, move on to the next one. The right arrow.
Compressor.
Yeah, compressor. That's the key one. Okay, so in your compressor, what is your threshold set at?
Minus 25.2.
Okay, that's pretty aggressive. Just so Sean will laugh. Let's bring it down to. Let's just start by bringing it down to like maybe minus 10-ish.
Okay.
And what is your ratio set at? Sean is laughing. See, I knew he will.
It's 2 to 1.
It's 2 to 1. Let's bring it to 4 to 1.
Okay, I'm at just a little bit above minus 10 on my threshold, and my ratio, I'm taking that to 4 to 1.
Okay, 4 to 1, good. Release, bring it to 119.3. I think like close to 120. You should hit like 119.3.
All right, so right now it's at 21. So you
Increase
want me
it all the way to the right.
119?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm at 118.9.
Okay, 118.9. And then your attack, bring it all the way down to the left. So there should be nothing left. It should say 0.10 millisecond. Sean said, Sean said he's glad he can actually see the window. Now he finally knows what it is we're talking about. Okay, all right. You got it all the way down. And then the gain?
Yes.
What is your gain set at currently?
2.1.
2. Okay, all right. So we can come back and tweak a little bit more on that if we needed to. And then move to the right one more time. You should see equalizer. Yours is pretty decent. If you feel like you want to have more bass, more mid-range or low-range, you can come back and tweak here. I'll just quickly explain to you. You don't need to change anything right now because it's up to your taste. I think you sound good right now. But these, you have high, mid, and low. So you can disable just the mid, just the high, or just the low, or you can turn them all on. And what you're seeing here when we talk about bell, you're talking about sweeping it left or right. You're finding your frequency essentially. It tells you actually in your high bell what your frequency that you're hitting. So on my high frequency, I'm hitting at 9,300 hertz right now. Or you can turn to your left, it's now at 700 something. So high bell is turning that nod. There's like 3 notes here, 3 dots right here. This is your high, this is your mid, and this is your low. You can turn your frequency left or right by turning the bell knob. And if you want to boost it or lower it, you will turn on the gain. So high gain will turn the dot up or down, you see? So which means my high frequency is now very high, as you can hear. My 9,822.1 hertz is being boosted. 10.6 dB is what we're seeing here. So you'll find a point where you'll like it, however it is, how high or low it is. And then same thing with the mid, same thing with the low. So you can play with that. I think where you have it, it sounds pretty natural to me. So we won't mess with it for now. But you can if you want to. Then we'll go on to the next one. The next one is Exciter. Is it on?
Yes.
Let's turn it off and see if it does anything. Anything that does not do anything, I typically turn off.
Okay. I turned it off.
I don't miss
1,
it.
2, 3. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
I don't. So when you turn it off, you just turn the middle button, right? The middle black button. Yeah. So I don't miss it. So let's just leave it off for now.
Okay.
And then go to the next one. It's panning, which you really don't need. It's panning. It's just panning left and right of your voice, which is not quite applicable in this
Should I cut it off?
Since you're mono. No, you just leave it as is. So it should be in the middle, not left nor right. And then tap on the left pointing arrow on the top left screen. Then that should bring you back out. And now, is your level still at 62? If I remember correctly?
No. We took it up to 65.
65. Okay, good. So speak back into your microphone like how you would do your show.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to need to move it down like it is now. And so where I am now is about where it would be.
And as you're speaking in this position, I know you're going to have to like glance, maybe just turn your eyeballs. Turn your eyeballs over and see if you can see where you're hitting on this number, on this level. Are you
okay? Yeah. The yellow bar is getting right to the bottom of the plus sign.
Okay, that's pretty good. I like. Now mine goes a little bit over because I'm pretty close. So if I step away, it's not quite there. So is yours kind of hitting about like that? When like on the screen, yours is about hitting about right there underneath the plus. Yeah. Right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Point
okay.
again.
Right here, underneath the plus tip.
Yeah.
Okay, while I have you here, because there's another place that I want to make sure that we take care of also is your master compeller. So this is your master, the master compressor and limiter. So tap on the home key on your RØDECaster Pro, and then tap on the gear icon or the setting.
Okay.
And then go to output. And then processing. And you should see master compeller.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your master compeller, under threshold, bring it down to minus 1.2. You probably have like minus 20 something still on there.
It's minus 19.
19.
You want me to take it to where?
Minus 1.2.
Okay. Okay, we're there.
Okay, and then your attack, bring it all the way down, 0.1.
Okay.
I knew you were going to comment on the minus 19. Okay, and then release, bring it closer to 120.
Okay, right now it's at 20. You want me to go all the way up to 120?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I can either be 118 or 123.
Okay, 118 is good.
Okay.
And then in gain,
Actually, I got it to go to 119.
okay, awesome. What about your gain?
I'm at 2.0.
Okay, we can leave it there because you're not too soft. So when you speak right now into the microphone, you see on the left side here, there's a little bit of a red bar. Do you see that
Yeah.
red bar coming down at all? Probably not. Go ahead and speak it.
I mean, I can see it.
But in yours, does it show up?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you do see it. Okay, cool. Now, is it a lot or just a tiny bit?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's visible, but you got to look for it.
Okay, so it's not like coming down all the way down a lot, like meeting the yellow line.
No,
Okay, cool.
no.
So it's just doing its job just a tiny bit. Okay, so that's it. Now we'll go back to your mic setting. So tap on your shortcut microphone setting button on your fader.
Okay, I'm there.
And I want you to save your preset. Actually, I want to go ahead and speak. I want to check on your level real quick.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah.
1, 2,
that's good.
3.
Okay, that's good. All right. Now go back to your setting and I want you to save this as a preset so that you have your own custom preset now. And there are two information that I want you to do. So in presets is right here.
Yeah.
When you
Press that.
that, and you will see a bunch of previously, that comes shipped with your device. You want to tap on the plus icon. And it will ask you to name it.
Okay. What's a good name?
Let's
How about a special time with John?
Yeah. How about name it John or whatever? John Glenn.
I'm going to call it John.
Okay,
I'm
call
going to
it
call
John.
it John.
Do John, but then add a number at the end. Add a number of your gain, which is your 65, I think you have your gain.
Oh yeah. Okay, John 65.
So I'm following along and I'm doing the same thing. I am naming it John, and then I'll do, you can do it in parentheses or just a number.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I wanted you to have 65 in there. You could put 65 dB if you want to. This is just a trick for me to remember what your gain level is. Your gain level is not recorded in the preset. All your processing is recorded, but your gain level isn't. So I'm going to do done. So now next time if you want to recall this John setting, you can come down here and choose John 65 and you'll be right where you need it to be. So even if you mess everything up.
I really should just leave it there. Though,
you should,
right?
yes. But who knows, occasionally you come in here and tweak this and tweak that. And like, oops, I got the setting all wrong. Now you want to go back to your original setting.
Okay.
You just tap it and it goes back to your original setting.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. But I'm sounding halfway decent now.
Yes. And, your room is not as loud, so you can test it by going to your preset and just turning your processing off for now. You can see if you can hear the room.
Okay, let me do that. Well, where's
just this round thing processing?
Yeah. I'm hitting my thing. I'm going back. It gets me back to.
Oh, you're still in presets.
Oh, okay.
If you're in presets, just tap on the left pointing arrow on the bottom.
Okay.
So if you're in presets, you want to tap on this arrow to get out.
Okay.
And once you're out, you should see the eight settings, processing settings.
There we go. Okay, I'm there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Now tap it, the processing ring. So
okay,
do you hear the room louder?
I just cut it off.
So you hear the room getting, like you're picking up some of the room noise, essentially.
Okay.
And then when you tap on it, it becomes quieter. So we're all not going to talk, and I'll let you hear it.
Yeah, you can hear just a very slight difference.
So yeah, it's
I see what
taking
you're saying.
it's taking your sound. Plus, it also gives you a little bit of processing in there, making sure that you are loud enough and not being compressed too much, because the default Rode compression is so aggressive that you're not sounding loud enough to many times. In fact, those of you who are watching live, you are probably, like myself included, until we get into the preset, I didn't realize how aggressive the compressor is being applied. On your microphone is apply about minus 20 some dB of compression, and then in the master compeller, which is like the master volume, that hits another minus 19. So no wonder people keep cranking up their microphone and they're not loud enough. If it's because every time compressor is essentially taking the sound that is that's too loud to push it down. But because Rode made the threshold, the too loud, so aggressive that even talking normal is too loud to them, so it keeps pushing your voice down. So that's what it's doing. So if you have anything more than minus 20, it's too aggressive. I usually start with people like around minus 10. I have mine at minus 4. And so typically you gain some of your level back in that way.
And that's your master compeller?
That's my my compression in my channel.
Okay.
So Sean is saying it reduces the dynamic range. So essentially you're loud and you're soft. It reduces it coming back down. And that's what a compressor is doing. It's taking all the loud sound, pushes it down so that the range that's presented is much smaller. It reduces the dynamic range. The soft and the loud is now reduced.
And I'm using a dynamic microphone as opposed to a condenser. So I'm assuming that makes a difference.
Yeah. I mean, not in the difference where the compression sends, but dynamic and condenser microphone makes a difference because of how sensitive a condenser microphone is. Now, your room would sound completely different if you were to have a condenser microphone, because I can hear. I'm not sure what's that, AC, or there's a fan that's constant that's going in.
It's 100 degrees here in DC, so I am running the AC.
So yeah, it's your AC, and so we just apply a little bit of noise gate just to kind of tame that down a little bit, just to get your room to not pick up the room tone too much. But noise gate is not noise cancellation. Noise gate is just a gate. The gate where it lets the sound comes through when it hits a certain threshold.
It screens it.
It covers it when it doesn't hit the threshold. And therefore, when you speak, when it hits the threshold and the gate open, we are still hearing the fan. It's just that we want to. That's why we spend a little bit of time to make it sound natural when the door closes and when it opens. It's not so abrupt, like, ooh, open, close.
Okay.
And now at least sort of gradually open and gradually kind of close, so it sounds a little bit more natural that way. So live with it for a while.
Okay, no. I appreciate you taking the time.
We never actually did that. We actually have not we have not tuned up your voice since you joined. So
no, we've been living with rough Glenn.
It's actually not bad. So what happened is, Glenn, we've been using the audio processing in Zoom. That's why
in Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes everybody sound pretty decent, which is good, which is why I like having Zoom, the integration of Zoom and Ecamm, is because it makes all my guests on my regular podcast. I usually have 6 to 8 guests, and none of them have good, decent sound. But it's the conversation that's valuable. And I don't know if you know about this I have a language preservation podcast that I've been doing it for 19 years. So where I come from, there's a language, it's a Chinese language localized in Penang, Malaysia. So it's very unique. It's only in that region, the northern region of Malaysia, where that language is spoken. Its original root is from China, but then it's spoken in Penang, in Malaysia, because of the immigrants. And over time, it's a commonly spoken language. I think you'll be interested. It's a commonly used language to the point where it's so common that it's become cheap. Like whether or not you have education, you can speak the language. And
Very
therefore,
accessible.
very accessible. Everybody speak it, but everybody looks down on it. Not everybody. A big chunk of people look down on
Well,
it.
there's certain portions of American English that might be kind of like that
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
You know, it's just
exactly. Yes, yes. So
it's just your everyday
yeah,
kind of, not
exactly.
really-
So some people feel like embarrassed using it because they make you feel like you're less educated, because people who went to school for education, they can speak English, they can speak Mandarin, they can speak other languages. Other popular language when I was growing up is Cantonese because of Hong Kong like TV series. And so people speak all those different languages, but they don't treasure the language as much as we should as a local from Penang.
Yeah.
And so 20 years ago, after I left the country, I started to miss that language after I left the country, came here to study. Years later, after I graduated, I felt really like I missed the usage of that language. And I have so much fun when I talk to my friends from high school back home. They would use the language, and it's a lot of fun. And one day in 2004, I started my personal journal podcast, which is what, it's like that's 20 years old now. I started that podcast, and then I wanted to use this language, and my subscribers do not understand the language. So I started a brand new podcast called Penang Hokkien Podcast. And just as a fun thing, because it's fun to do. And within a year, it was picked up by local media, and suddenly I have a following. And I thought maybe now it's a time to actually use that platform and do something a little bit more useful rather than just chit chat. So the idea of the language preservation part comes in is I make the show really accessible, really funny. So we talk about like not everything you can talk under the sun. We talk about stuff that you never hear on TV, especially from an Asian community. Sex, everything. So people like to join because they've never had an outlet to talk openly about everything, right? We don't only focus on that topic, but we talk about everything. But indirectly, the only requirement you have to have is you have to use the language. You have to use Penang Hokkien.
Yeah.
And because of that, it now becomes 20 years later, each show is about an hour and a half long. And I have almost 20 years worth of all these hours of language being used as locals, right? We all speak that language. And then now it becomes part of the archive of even if the language, we hope it does not, if it does go away, at least we have some recorded files of people using that language. So,
that's great.
So that's my main podcast. And that's why I'm talking about people don't care what the audio sound like. So I need Zoom to make them sound as best as possible.
Well, when you're talking about language, clarity is really important. And it's not just about being able to pick up on certain words or phrases. If you're highlighting the fact that there are some distinct sounds or the ways of pronouncing certain words,
the subtlety,
you really need to be able to pick up on that in audio, and the quality of the audio makes a big difference. One of the comments I often get in Clubhouse using this mic and this setup is, wow, your voice is
hear
so
you
clear.
better if you're
we
teaching.
can understand you.
Right.
And when someone is trying to learn a language, they want to be able to understand and very clearly receive those audio signals, so.
Speaking of, I just muted Glenn because when he's moving the microphone, I can hear the handling noise. But I can do that. You can, part of Ecamm Live is if you're a Zoom call, if your guest is accidentally turned on their microphone or whatever, you can mute it. Now, when I mute you, you can unmute yourself, or I can ask you to unmute to speak again. So now I pop up something that, now he knows that I asked him to unmute his microphone. Then he can unmute his mic, then we can hear him. But
okay, yeah. I tell you what. I want to ask. First of all, I want to ask Arthur, what time zone are you in?
I'm on the East Coast, and just a little point of clarification, so the way my name is pronounced, it's sort of like Usher, but with a TH. So Uther. It's sort of like a U, like a short U, like in the word up, but you would say it like Usher with a TH. So Uther. Yeah.
Oh. Is this? I think this is like the spelling of the name Sandeep. It's Sandeep. Is it something like that?
No. Well, it is South Asian, meaning
Okay.
it's not uncommon in South Asia. It comes from Arabic, actually.
Okay.
But so yeah, we won't go into like actually pronouncing it in Arabic.
Okay.
But the point is,
Okay.
it's Uther. And you were asking, what is your question?
Time zone.
I'm in the East Coast. I'm in Virginia.
Oh, that's where I am. I'm right outside of DC.
Oh, well, I'm way outside of I'm actually outside of a place called Washington, D.C.
So essentially, what you're saying is that we're neighbors.
We are.
Holy
Yeah.
cow,
I'm
man!
in Fairfax Station.
Okay. I know one or two people that live there. I am in Tyson's.
Yeah, that's not too far.
Wow.
okay.
See,
No,
we're all
that-
connected
that's-
online, but you're physically closer.
Oh no, that's pretty cool.
Where are you,
yeah,
John?
I mean, if you want to practice doing anything, just let me know, and I'll be your guinea pig.
Oh yeah. I'm up for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to hone these skills. And like I said earlier, I've been following along with what John's been doing and getting pointers from Sean and whatnot and kind of making sure my setup is right. But honestly, I didn't even do the rudimentary learning on my own. I need to sort of get that 101, and especially as it regards the software for Ecamm and even Zoom. You think, oh, we know how to use Zoom, but there's all these features.
I just learned because I don't use Zoom. I just start using Zoom after I got Ecamm. After they have the Ecamm. So there's so many things I do not know about it. There is join the community. It's great. The Ecamm live community, the Facebook group, and we'll see you there. That's how I met Glenn. It's I don't know how.
Yeah, I saw John advertising his RØDECaster, and I jumped.
Oh
on
yes,
it.
yes. We're not supposed to, but occasionally
Right.
the admins would tell us, okay, tell us about your show and all that, and we get to introduce our show occasionally. So I think that's how we got to meet each other. And I try not to, not try. I would not spam the group with the shows. Otherwise, you get lots of shows because everybody use Ecamm for a reason, right? Because they either have a show or they use it for a class or something. So that there is an educator Ecamm specific group that I think you'll be great at. So you want to look into it. I forgot what it's
on
called.
Facebook.
On Facebook, that's the same group. And I can try to connect you to those. I think it's isn't it what is it called? It's called Ecamm. There might be a separate group for it. Ecamm for educators. So if you go through all the conversations that was previously posted, if you search, because you can narrow down and search on things that you like, search for educators. So that might be something that would be of interest to you also.
Okay. Sure.
Listen, I will two more things. First of all, out there, let me give you my phone number. You just text it. If you want me
Don't
to
say it
do
right
anything
now.
for you.
Just send it in the Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to have to edit this.
Okay.
Don't call him. Put it in the chat.
My other thing is that how is my voice right now? 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. By the way, when he's asking you to like speak, you probably want to say something other than just numbers.
Okay.
Because I'm not trying to disparage you, but
Yeah.
the point is, like, if somebody's asking you to speak, like, speak what you would normally say.
Okay. Hi, my name is Glenn. It's nice to be here. Stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. No, yeah, it sounds fine.
Okay. And the reason I asked is because now I've repositioned my mic above again, which will work better for me. And if this is working, I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
It's not as loud and as prominent as previously, but find a location that you would actually use. If it's a problematic where it is, then
right now where it is where I would like to leave it.
okay, good. You are not as loud as you were before, and I wouldn't crank up too much louder anymore because you're starting to push your room tone to be louder also.
Okay.
So, but is your fader still at unity?
Yes.
Okay. So another thing that you could do is maybe before we leave is go back into your microphone setting, leave your gain where it is, but we'll go back into your compression. So go here and then go back to your compression, which is the top row right button. In compressor, in your gain, how much gain do you have right now?
I'm giving up to my phone number. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Well, we're being clandestine about it. And okay. All right. I just sent it into the chat.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, very good.
I will not bring it up for YouTube. So
Okay.
but go back to your.
Right. Let me get to where we're going here.
Okay, go back to your setting, your mic setting.
Okay, in compressor, switch number again.
It's on top row, right button.
Okay. All right, I'm there.
And then go to your gain and tell me where is it at? Is it at 3 or 2 right now?
It's at 2.
Okay, so at 2. Bring it up to maybe like a 5.
Okay.
And now go back to your position and speak again. Go back to your normal cup. Because you want to keep.
Okay, there we go. Okay, hi, my name is Glenn. I'm using my RØDECaster Pro 2. I just turned up my gain. I'm doing what John tells me to do because I am a fish out of water right now.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. That gives you a little bit volume back to your voice now that you're in a different position. Now, you want to keep in mind also you are using, if you want your microphone out of the shot, I'm going to repeat this again.
Yeah.
You may eventually want to get a different microphone. But for now, you can use what you have for now. And just know that you have a dynamic microphone. You have an MV7, right? It's quite directional.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very directional, meaning when you turn around, you lose your voice, right? Be sure you don't turn, especially when the microphone is not close to your mouth. Our habit is we forget that there is a microphone picking up our voice. So that's why if you can, I know sometimes in certain situations your setup like it's blocking your screen, or it's not like ideal for the shot that you have.
That's my main issue right now.
You need it somewhere you can still function.
Okay.
So, but that's a reason why. Keep in mind.
I'm either going to have to move my computer, which the option would be to bring it to my left here. Maybe I can do something like that. I don't know.
Just explore it. Just know that when we set up this microphone for you is for this use case. So if you were to change your setup, you just need to fine tune it again. Make sure that it's hitting the level that you need it. For instance, you don't need us to tell you all the time. You can speak into the microphone.
John, I gotta have it.
And then keep an eye on your level, because I always can see where my level is. If I move my microphone away from it, it's not hitting that level, and I know it, and I know you do not hear me the same way. So
No.
So now it's out of the shot. It's not the same. The space that you have from your mouth to your microphone is creating a space, an air that you're hearing the room. This is what you're hearing the room.
Okay.
When I bring it up into my mouth much closer, you are hearing my voice directly into the diaphragm of the microphone.
Right.
So
we hear the truth, John.
When you change it, it's different. I mean, can you hear me still? Yeah, you can.
No. I can hear you, but it's definitely a different sound.
Yeah, and especially if you're doing this for a podcast, just audio only podcast, or if you were giving people an option.
It would be with film. They just got to take it, and see me on cam is a hit or miss.
So if you have an option for people to, if you have an option for people to hear just audio only, they tune out quicker when they don't get to the visual. So and that's why if I want to talk for the last 2 hours, 3 hours that we've been doing this, if I talk like this,
John, I would have hung up in the first minute. Oh yeah. We'd have never made it this far.
And for language-wise, it's important that way too. You can hear the subtlety and pronunciation and all that. So it's very crucial.
I will work on repositioning my desk here. I'll see what I can do.
I think it's great as is. I think it can be improved when your microphone's closer. Sean was saying that's called proximity effect. Proximity effect is like you get that more bass when you come closer to your microphone. So not just that, but it also is the space that it picks up more of the room, because you have a dynamic microphone. When you speak into it, it's not picking up anything other than your voice. So then you can sound more intimate that way. So work with what you have until you adjust.
For. All right, John, I need to call it because I have to do a little thing called work tomorrow. But Arthur, nice meeting you. We've talked before. I'm sorry, but I'm glad that we found out that we're like a hop, skip, and a jump here. As far as being in proximity.
I'll give you a call later. Right now, like I said, my focus is just learning some of the basics and going through the YouTube channel and the videos and joining the group and kind of bounce around a few questions and it's good to have, someone else I can bounce it off of. But I think this group is great. I'll keep checking in here periodically with John and Sean and others.
Also, I have an assignment for you.
What's that?
Your assignment is to download the latest version of Zoom.
Okay.
And then next week, come back in. You don't need to have Ecamm to do... well, I guess not next week, because next week we're using something else. Next week we're using Riverside with Sean. So,
wow.
But at least get your latest version of the Zoom installed, and then if you want to join a Zoom call, you can still use your system that way. Just make sure that you input and output. Yeah, it's called Zoom Workplace now. If it's Zoom.us, means it's...
So how would I? Okay, I'll figure it out.
How do you join?
You're saying when he's running Riverside.
So still go. You can either go through Clubhouse or you can go to my website. I will put the link. I think he said he emailed me a link to join, to watch, and also participate, all in one link. So I will update on my website. If you go to learner.com, you can get the latest information for his show, and you also get the schedule for my holiday schedule, where I won't be doing that. And then when I come back later this August, then we can continue the conversation in Zoom and get you fine-tuned up for Zoom call. But at least we know that you are going to sound good in Ecamm because you're using the DLZ Creator Pro as your input source.
Quick question. So the overlays that you've got, like with that streaming across there?
Yes. It's called a ticker,
you have the ticker, and then sometimes it's just you, and you've got your little logo there.
Like
Is
this
that
one.
from Zoom?
No, that is from Ecamm.
Oh.
So you built it. You built it in Ecamm. I can quickly show. Now I know Glenn has to hop up. You can hop up anytime, Glenn.
Guys, you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Glenn, for joining. And
bye-bye.
So I will pop into demo mode for you real quick, so you can see this interface, which is kind of familiar, except mine is dark, yours is bright. So I built this myself. So this is my ticker. So it's called a ticker up here. Here, this is the ticker. In fact, I also have it on my Stream Deck, so I can turn it on or off. So the ticker on the top here, I don't know if you can see here, the eyeball here called ticker. There are two layers. One is the scrolling text. The other one's the background. So if I turn off the background, you'll see that goes away. Turn
this
back
was
the
under
background.
which window?
This is under, are you seeing it? This overlays window.
Okay.
Do you see it now? I know it's kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
So overlays is essentially the layers that's on top of that scene.
Got it.
And so I can build that, and I can also have my lower third. This is my name, so I turn it on and off here, but I build it all within Ecamm. So it is a layer of text with my name. Turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Layer of text with the title of who I am, and then the little light bulb icon that's part of my branding, and
Yeah.
then the background. All that's built within Ecamm.
The graphic portion you built within Ecamm.
Yes, this little graphic, the colorful graphics in the back, that is built in Photoshop, but everything else is assembled here in Ecamm.
Okay.
All those
cool.
pieces of elements. So
Yeah.
that's something that you can learn every Friday. There is a community. So if you haven't followed Ecamm's YouTube channel, you should follow them. Every Friday, there is a session of somebody very experienced and seasoned Ecamm live user will get on there, and they will just answer question or show tips on how to do certain things. So join that one, at least watch the replay if you don't catch it live. And then every other week, I think they're swapping it out for the first time. They're also doing something like what we're doing here. You can hop on a Zoom call, and then you can ask question directly. It's not going to be I'm not sure if they are live streaming it, but they require that people turn on their camera and participate in the conversation. And so that is starting this Friday, I believe. So if you follow the Ecamm community on Facebook, you should see them posting it. It's something new that they haven't tried. They're trying it for the first time this Friday. So they will essentially do what we do here, hop on the Zoom call and ask question, and they'll show you how you do things.
All right. Good enough.
And
All
now
right, thank you.
I'll see you on Facebook. And
right.
Sean, if you're still listening, I'm not sure if you're still here. Oh, there's still six people watching. I can't believe it. We've been rambling on and on. Arthur, I appreciate you hopping on, and let's learn this together. I'm so glad you're part of the Ecamm fam now. Your next goal is the gold mug.
That's the only reason I'm joining.
That's hilarious. So Sean, I also now have a sign out outro now. It's very short, so you get to hear the very last bit of the intro music, and next time I'll play it for you. My rudimentary kindergarten when it comes to producing music, a project. But when I end the show, you will hear the last bit of that, and I'll next time when I have the opportunity, maybe when I'm on your show, Sean, next week, I will explain a little bit of why I choose some of the instruments and why I did what I did. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much out there. We'll see you next time, maybe next week on Riverside with Sean's live stream there. Thanks,
good.
Sean. Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.